Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk about Citadel building a huge position in AMC call options, whether it's old news and why it's such a big deal. And I also want to talk about some of the other large 13F filings. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, obviously the title of this article is Citadel building a huge position in AMC call options, and the article was posted or published on October the 27th, 2021. It says hedge fund Citadel LLC has amassed the largest position in AMC of any hedge fund. For investors in AMC, Citadel and its CEO, Ken Griffin, have often searched as arch villains. It then also talks about the lawsuit in Florida and also talks about Robinhood restricting trading, which obviously impacted the prices of AMC and GameStop. And then it says now Ken Griffin and Citadel seem to have decided that if you can't beat them, join them. But then the example it gives is when looking at the institutional investors followed by Insider Monkey, Citadel holds the most valuable position in AMC with a $338 million call position in the stock. And obviously talks about Renaissance Technologies and D.E. Shaw also getting in on the action and buying large portions of AMC stock. But if we go over to Whale Wisdom for AMC and we find Citadel Advisors, we can see that their call option position is indeed $338 million. But what the article doesn't tell you is that's their June or their quarter 2 13F filing, so it's about 3 months old now. Obviously we're now waiting for their quarter 3 or their September filings to be released over the next few days. Now it also isn't the largest call option position because Jane Street obviously have $737 million of call options and Susquehanna have $972 million of call options as well. Maybe this tremendous blog website has got some new insider information of the quarter 3 filings for Citadel, and maybe they've increased their call position even more, but so far that's not what the current 13F filings show. It will be very interesting to see what Citadel do actually file over the next few days. If we change the filter on the dates and we look for most recently reported, we can see a lot of new reports from the 26th and 27th of October that obviously do relate to quarter 3 filings. Now in my video the other day, I went through the Cutler Group's new filings where they've reduced their put option position and actually increased their call option position. But the one thing that I did find interesting today is that the State of New Jersey pension fund actually increased their holdings of AMC even more by another 66,000 shares. That now puts their total AMC position at around $11.283 million. Now obviously you may remember from a few months ago that Gerber Gawal, the head of enforcement at the SEC, does have some relation to this State of New Jersey pension fund. And it's very interesting to see that they are still increasing their position in AMC, clearly seeing it going higher in the future. And it's also good to see them holding alongside us as well. They did buy in at quarter 2 2021, meaning that they bought in at say June or maybe May, and they're still holding to this day. They didn't sell off during the dip, they kept their diamond hands strong. Now currently most people don't have a lot of confidence in the stock market. There's these big institutions and market makers that have all of these exemptions, there's a massive lack of reporting, and it basically seems like all of the normal rules and regulations just don't apply to them. But when investing in cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, Ethereum, SHIBA INU or many others, it's much more of an even playing field. And that's why I personally use BlockFi to invest in cryptocurrency. Not only can you just buy some Bitcoin, but you can also earn interest on your deposits up to 8.25% paid in cryptocurrency as well. So you can just stack even more Bitcoin. If you sign up using the link in the description below and deposit at least $100, you can get up to $250 in free Bitcoin to start off your account with. BlockFi also offer a rewards credit card with an introductory rate of 3.5% cashback on your purchases, also paid to you in even more cryptocurrency as well. There's also no annual fee, but unfortunately the credit card's only available in the US at the moment and not in the UK. And also when you've generated a massive profit on your investment, whether it's in Bitcoin or Shiba Inu, instead of having to sell off your coins and potentially missing out on the next run up, you can take out a crypto-backed loan with BlockFi as well, with rates from as low as 4.5%. Now I also wanted to talk about why Citadel and the hedgies can't let the price move out of the current window between $42 and $35. You may have seen recently over the last few months, it's basically been just bouncing around this $30, $40 mark. The hedgies haven't tried pushing it lower down into the 20s or the high teens, and they obviously haven't really let it get too carried away back into the 50s or 60s or 70s. Because obviously if the price gets too high, everyone will get hopeful and hold on to their stock, and they'll end up buying more, and they'll be buying call options as well. And if the price gets too low, again, everyone will start buying at an even faster rate because AMC will be on discount. And therefore the hedgies' only play at the moment is to try and bore us to death and make it feel like nothing is ever going to happen. Now, I'm sure there are many people out there that are getting bored of the current price action and are getting increasingly more worried. But just remember, that's exactly what the hedgies want you to be feeling. So sit back, watch a game of Pong as the price bounces back and forth in this window and see their desperation at work. Now, you may know that AMC has its earnings being released in the not too distant future, and analysts have been giving it a very, very aggressive target to try and hit. The hedge funds have estimated that AMC will earn essentially what the last 3 quarters combined have made, an EPS that's almost 100% better than last year. Now, this is a very, very aggressive target from the analysts, and AMC could very well possibly come in shy of this target. It wouldn't be bad at all, because $700 million of revenue in one singular quarter is still absolutely massive. Now really, I see 2 potential outcomes that could happen. AMC misses the earnings and they underreport, and obviously then the hedgies jump on board and try and crush the AMC stock even further. Or AMC could absolutely smash the earnings and blow the analysts' estimates out of the park. This would be absolutely incredible for AMC because obviously the analysts' estimates are very, very high. If AMC can beat that, then it wouldn't surprise me if this was another key catalyst for the potential mother of all short squeezes. If AMC absolutely smashes the earnings, word will get out and there will be a lot of attention on AMC as a bounce back play. This will obviously drive a lot more volume into the AMC stock, and there will be many, many more buy orders going through, which will push the AMC stock up. Now the hedgies could well lose control and we could absolutely cause another price run upwards. Now, over the last few days, you may have seen some fishy goings on with the Berkshire Hathaway stock. In yesterday's after hours, the stock ran up 50% from around $400,000 per share to over $600,000 per share. And in today's after hours, the stock was up another 15% or around $75,000 in the after hours as well. Now, Berkshire Hathaway is a massive, massive stock that typically doesn't experience moves higher than a few percent. It'd be like Apple running up 50% in a few hours or in one singular trade. But interestingly, the Berkshire Hathaway stock has actually experienced this before on September 15th, 2008. On this day in history, the date was September 15th, 2008. Shares of Berkshire Hathaway stock opened the day at $117,000 and closed at $147,000, or up 30%. This is one of the largest daily increases since its inception. Also September 15th, 2008, Lehman Brothers collapses. And therefore, I wonder if this is another indication that there's going to be some major bank or institution that's about to collapse and be liquidated. And now I also wanted to give some wider market updates and touch on Evergrande. Chinese authorities have told Evergrande's billionaire founder to use his own money to pay down the company's $300 billion debt. This goes to show that China doesn't really want to bail out Evergrande, and they're trying to pressure the chairman and owner into using his own money. The only problem though is that his net worth is only around $7.6 billion, and therefore he definitely does not have the cash to pay down the $300 billion debt pile. I think it's also very unlikely that he will end up doing that, because he probably knows that Evergrande is a sinking ship and doesn't want to lose his entire fortune at the same time. And finally, there was an interview on Chinese TV about Evergrande that I found very, very interesting. It basically talks about how Evergrande's debt isn't very transparent because the balance sheet doesn't tell the full story. Many Chinese companies borrow money and don't report it on their balance sheet, either through NCIs, which is non-controlling interests, or by buying shares in an offshore shell company. Obviously, if you buy shares in an NCI or a non-controlling interest, you don't have to bring their financials onto your consolidated balance sheet, so you don't have to report their debt. Same with overseas shell companies. If you can buy an overseas shell company and you don't consolidate it, you don't have to report their debt on your balance sheet, but it is another way of acquiring companies that already have lots of cash or lots of debt. So why exactly is that bad? Well, the CCP and the Chinese central bank basically have no idea how much debt Evergrande and these property developers actually have. Yes, their balance sheet may say 300 billion, but they could well have over $1 trillion in debt from many different sources and from many different countries. Obviously, I'll leave the link to this interview down in the description below. I just didn't really want to play you the full 2-minute video when I could summarize it much quicker. The interview also talks about how there's a credit crunch currently going on in China as it's difficult to borrow money, and it's obviously impacting the housing market and the falling house prices. Now, I wonder where the last time I heard credit crunch and falling house prices together in the same sentence actually was. I think it was probably back in 2008, just before the housing market crashed and the stock market as well. And finally, I also wanted to touch on SHIBA INU hitting a new all-time high, becoming a top 10 coin, and actually trading places with Dogecoin, and it now has a larger market cap than Dogecoin, and also a lot of large companies like Credit Suisse, for example. SHIBA INU is up more than 133% in the last 4 days. The upward price action has pushed it to a new record high, and further buying pressure could potentially send SHIB to 0.0000737 or even higher. We know that actually today it hit 0.000087, so a lot higher than that prediction, and also higher than my prediction from the other day, which I think was 0.68 something. So it's already beat my previous prediction. But where does SHIBA INU go from here? SHIBA INU is now experiencing a very well needed pullback to between 0.00006 to 0.00008. I do think it needs to consolidate in this period for a little while, maybe a day or two, and hopefully we get the Robinhood announcement of them also listing SHIBA INU for trade on their platform. I do think that'll be the next catalyst that helps push SHIBA INU to new all-time highs and to potentially close another 0 to 0.0001. Guys, be sure to let me know down in the comments below what you think about Citadel building a huge AMC position in call options. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of my others. Alternatively, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers!